Before Islam, the world, especially the Arabian Peninsula, was very different from what we see today. Arabia was not ruled by a central government. There were no strong laws, no organized system of justice. Instead, society was built around tribes. Each tribe acted like its own small nation. Your identity, your safety, and your future all depended on your tribe. If your tribe was strong, you were protected. If not, you were vulnerable. Because of this system, conflicts were very common. Even small disagreements could turn into wars. And these wars sometimes lasted for many years, even generations. Justice was not based on fairness. It was based on power. The strong dominated the weak, and those who had no support, especially the poor and enslaved, had almost no rights. Women, in many cases, were treated unfairly. In some parts of Arabia, the birth of a daughter was seen as a burden. There were even cases where baby girls were buried alive. This period is often called a time of ignorance, not because people lacked intelligence, but because moral guidance was missing. Now, in the middle of this environment, there was one important city, Mecca. Mecca was not just a desert town, it was a center of trade. Caravans would pass through it, connecting different parts of the world. But Mecca was also a religious center. At its heart stood the Kaaba. The Kaaba was originally built for the worship of Allah alone. But over time, people changed this. Instead of one God, many idols were placed inside and around the Kaaba. Different tribes worshiped different gods. So even though religion existed, the original message had been lost. Now in this society, a man was living who was different from others. His name was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even before receiving revelation, he was known for his character. People trusted him. They called him Al-Amin, meaning the trustworthy. He was honest in business, kind in behavior, and respected by people. But he was not satisfied with the society around him. He saw injustice. He saw people worshiping idols that could not help them. He felt that something was missing. So he began to spend time alone. He would leave the city of Mecca and go to a mountain. Nearby, in that mountain, was a cave called Hijrah. There, he would sit for long periods, thinking, reflecting, trying to understand the purpose of life. Then at the age of 40, something extraordinary happened. One night while he was in the cave, an angel appeared. This was Angel Jibril alayhi salam. He came with a message from Allah. The angel commanded, "Read." Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied that he could not read. The command came again, read, and again. He responded the same. Then the first revelation was given. "Read in the name of your Lord who created." This moment marked the beginning of Islam. It was not just a personal experience, it was the start of a message for all of humanity. After this, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam returned home in fear and confusion. He went to his wife, Khadija radhiyallahu ta'ala anha. She comforted him and supported him. She believed in him immediately. This made her the first person to accept Islam. Soon after, others also accepted the message. Abu Bakr radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, Ali radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and a small group of close companions. At first, the message was shared privately, but after some time, it became public. And this is when the challenges began. The leaders of Mecca strongly opposed this message. Why? Because Islam challenged their beliefs. It told people to worship only Allah. It spoke against idol worship. It called for justice and equality. This threatened the social and economic system of Mecca, so they reacted with hostility. Muslims were insulted, mocked, and then physically harmed. Those who were weak suffered the most. They were tortured, beaten, and forced to give up their faith. But many remained firm. One example is Bilal radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu. He was tortured under the hot sun, yet he continued to say, Ahad, Ahad, meaning one God. As persecution increased, life in Mecca became very difficult for Muslims. Eventually, a major decision was made to migrate. This migration is known as Hijrah. Muslims began leaving Mecca and moving to another city, Yathrib, which later became known as Medina. This was not an easy journey. People left their homes, their belongings, and their memories behind. But they did it to protect their faith. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam also migrated with Abu Bakr Razi, Allahu Ta'ala anhu. This event was so important that it marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar. In Medina, things changed. For the first time, Muslims could live freely. A new society was established based on justice, brotherhood, and faith. But the conflict with Mecca did not end. Battles took place, like Badr, Uhud, and the Battle of the Trench. These were difficult times. Sometimes Muslims were victorious. Sometimes they faced losses. But through all of this, the message continued to grow. Years later, a major turning point came. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam returned to Mecca. But this time, he was not weak. He came with strength. However, what he did next surprised everyone. Instead of taking revenge, he forgave the people. He said, "You are free." This moment showed the true spirit of Islam: mercy, forgiveness, justice. After this, Islam spread rapidly. People accepted it not because they were forced, but because they understood it. Eventually, during his final pilgrimage, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam delivered his last sermon. He reminded people of equality, of justice, of responsibility. And shortly after, he passed away. But the message of Islam did not end. It continued to spread across continents, across cultures. Today, Islam is followed by millions around the world, and its core message remains simple: worship Allah, do good, and live with purpose. This is not just history. It is a reminder to reflect, to learn, and to understand.